So I finally saw the movie Companion, and I'm ready to make my review right after the intro. So if you haven't seen the movie Companion, it's basically about a guy and his android lovebot girlfriend, and he takes her on a trip to this cabin with a couple of his friends. And during that trip, she just goes haywire, okay? Now, I won't spoil too much, but I will probably end up revealing some things. I don't know. Let's see how it goes. So, a couple of things that I like about the movie. It had a bunch of unexpected funny moments. I did not expect it to have as much humor as it did. Um, I got a couple of hard laughs probably towards the beginning, middle-ish. But later on toward the end, I really didn't, laugh too much. It was kind of like a little bit more focused and, serious. I didn't expect that. I did not expect to laugh throughout the movie at all. I thought it was just going to be, probably one of them like horrific, action-packed movies. But it was pretty funny. Now, one thing that I did find interesting about this movie was the idea that robots would become more self-aware eventually. That kind of like brought out the inner conspiracy theorist a little bit. And it just intrigued me a little bit because throughout the whole movie, she kind of is becoming more aware of herself and kind of noticing things about others and trying to figure out like who she really is. And it kind of can relate to humans in a way because the simple fact that it's a lot of humans out here that are, trying to figure out who they are themselves. Throughout life, everybody kind of goes on this like like realization journey. Like, you know what I'm saying? You try to figure out who you are throughout your whole life. And it kind of, if it makes it more, it kind of builds a deeper connection between robots and humans in a way, from our perspective as the viewer. So I kind of like that about the movie. Also, on another note about the awareness part was the fact that a lot of things that were going on with the robot was being controlled by her partner. Oh, spoiler alert, okay. But yeah, it was being controlled by someone else. And the fact that the control being given to someone else really had me thinking about humans and how we started, and if our intended use was to be controlled the entire time and not really have our own perspectives, because throughout the movie she was being controlled, but she thought that she had her own will. She thought that she, was doing things on her own, and she also thought that she kind of broke away eventually when she found out about, herself being controlled and wanted to do her own thing and kind of wanted to control her own life. It kind of made me think about if humans were supposed to just follow this strict path and be controlled by someone else or something else, and we kind of, just broke away from that and wanted to do our own thing eventually. And it helped, and it makes me think about like what our intended use was. Like, did we have an intended use in the beginning? Was it a specific task that we were supposed to fulfill? It reminds me low key of like the Anunnaki story and everything like that. How humans were made to be like gold miners and stuff like that. So that just kind of was like an eye opener a little bit. Kind of, got me thinking. Also, another thing was that the advancement of technology in this movie is beyond wild. Like, right now in our reality, we're working on building robots. Actually, we have some that exist, but we're trying to make robots more realistic, more human-like. And in the movie, they kind of couldn't tell who was a robot. You could not tell who was an android for real because she pretty much fit in just like the other people. You wouldn't even be able to tell if you didn't know from the beginning that she was one. And it makes me think about how far we're going to go in real life with our technology, and will it be a day that, we can't differentiate between robots and humans. You know, that is very it's crazy to think about, honestly, and how easily they will be able to fit in, and they might not even be aware that they're robots. And the robots kind of fight for their own freedom and everything like that, and it has me thinking so deep about just the idea of having robots at all, and have them look and act just like humans. I'm not gonna lie, for a minute in the movie, I couldn't figure out why everyone was kind of treating her different, because later on in the movie you find out something about everyone else, and or another individual in the movie, and then that kind of makes me think, like, why is this one in particular looked at a certain way? Why is she looked at a certain way? Why is she treated a certain way? It didn't make sense, kind of. But I guess it was because of her purpose, the intention behind having her around in the first place. So I'm assuming that's why she got that type of energy. But at least from everyone else. But yeah, man. The movie overall was very interesting. If I could rate it with stars, I mean, I would probably give it like 3 stars, 3.5 stars. But yeah, it was good. I would watch it again. I recommend you go watch it if you haven't seen it. It's on HBO Max. Um, but yeah, thank y'all for watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.